What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Roots. So I'm going to review the 7th album by American rapper and Wu-Tang Clan member Ghostface Killah. As far as this pitch is going to happen, basically this particular project is called the Big Doe Rehab, and it came out in the late fall of 2007. Now, within Fair's about here, that around this particular time, this is when the 2007 Wu-Tang album was getting ready to come out. Pitches like that, some hit type ordeal as far as the 8 diagrams within these pitches, within these particular type products. Now, within these pitches, I think the album prior to that one, within those aspects, Wu-Tang was not terribly around its full bound like the 2000s pitch like that. I think they did drop. They dropped, I want to say, in like the year 2000 and 2001. They dropped the W in the year 2000, Iron Flag in 2001, pitches like that, some hit type ordeals as far as these pitches can happen. Now, within these fairs, I purchased this Ghostface Killah album in the past within these pitches, accent type ordeals, fucking with this particular one, along with More Fish and Fishscale, some stuff, ones like that. This is one of the I was decently familiar with the particular Ghost Dini album from 2009 for a little bit within those type pitches. I need to get to that one as well, but within pitches here, as far as saying this album, clean enough, is going to get a 10 out of 10 within these pitches, being I'll say within these banging typeness. In my opinion, now within the fair, I know the classic type appeal of like the usual type product of the banner typeness of Fishscale from 2006. More Fish from late 2006 doesn't get its commonplace type appeal. But I'd pretty much say that Ghostface was on a roll around these particular times, like the mid 2000s. Now, Supreme Clientele. Actually, the Pretty Tony album from 2004 within these pitches had the aspect of kinda being, it felt like there was more breakout type of claim towards Fish. It felt like there was more breakout type of claim towards Fishscale more so than the Pretty Tony album from 2004 was the pitch as far as saying this, these particular ones, banging typeness, is paying attention to the product here. Now, within the aspect, the only thing I'll say about this album within these pitches is just the fact to as far as saying it has very much the same traces of some of the type hits that were particularly on Fishscale from 2006, which I think is probably one of those type ones that Ghostface just particularly, not to say it was only lightning in a bottle, but just the particular glam factor that might as well have been like Ghostface Kills, like the Blueprint by Jay-Z, just a later win kind of classic that he particularly kind of had. Now, Supreme Clientele is seemingly pretty good, and then of course Iron Man from 2006 within those are Iron Man from 1996 within those type of ordeals. So it's the aspect as far as saying that's the hit type appeal, that's just a frequently return and just a nowadays type recession, seeing it's a modern day type classic within those type pitches within aspects for the first time. But I look after it, reviewed Fishscale way back in early. Reviewed Fishscale back in the early days of Acid Roots back in the late spring of 2015/summer 2015, pitch like that. Some of these sit top ordeals, but it's the pitch for saying I did review More Fish recently, just in like the late spring/summer 2025, pitch like that. So I'm getting back to Ghostface Killah here. Pitches like that, some hit type appeals. So the aspect, now within the fair, some of these type ones, the singles off of Fishscale within these aspects are a little bit larger, and I think that's kind of complex about this one, is it just didn't have like the relative type snap for like the pitches behind it. Fishscale within those aspects had songs like Shaky Dog and Back Like That and Be Easy, some of those type ones. I think there's like another one on there, pitches like that. I think it's like Underwater, that was produced by MF Doom Sons that pitch. So it's the products as far as saying paying attention like the products here, the pitch behind it. It had a lot of buzz singles pitch like that, pretty classic type NY type street album, definitely classic out of NY type hip hop out of the mid and late 2000s, but the pitch behind it, this particular album didn't have as many buzz type flare ups pitch like that as the fair. It's not a bad album. I actually probably will give this album a higher score. Now within those pitches nowadays, I would say within the pitch that I do fuck with Fishscale within pitch like that within the fair. I think it's likely I would give that album a 10 out of 10, but within the pitches I do remember that it has starker type production than the usual type flare when you think of like New Jock City by Young Jock, or like particular like Units in the City by Shoddy Low Sons at once pitched like that. But the appeal as far as saying some banging typeness, this particular album has the central flair about it where it has like a good amount of radio type grabs on here, leftover type varieties, the DJ drama kind of hustle type fare, and the Blueprint type variety by Jay-Z pitched like that with some glam type factors, a little bit of Illmatic type syrup and hotbox type songs, typical Wu-Tang pitches like that. A good portion of the Wu-Tang crew is on here pitched like that, and some good hit type varieties. So it has the has some blistering type aspects on top of that, so the pitch as far as saying it's filled out within these particular pitches, but it's just the fair that some of those types standouts. I think there's just a little bit more roteness and this kind of, and the aspect of like the NY type flair having rote type songs kind of pitch that was a particularly pretty large standout within pitches. Just songs like Back Like That and Be Easy particularly had that appeal of giving Ghostface probably some of his most prolific kind of commercial glam, but this particular album just didn't have that. And really, Wikipedia doesn't even seemingly recognize a single apart from in Ghostface Killah's discography pitch like that, which is just the song We Celebrate, which was actually the single. It wasn't as commonly talked about and didn't have the same noise that Ghostface had in early 2006, late 2005, was still a pitch that's just kind of with an uncommon type facet as far as saying that it just doesn't seem as much folks full-bound know that there was a single off this album. But this kind of felt like a wayside type product. It was the same thing with More Fish from late 2006. Both those products that he was trying to capitalize, get back to the product of Fishscale, which was just out of nowhere kind of dynamite type success. But it's just kind of pitched as far as saying the other type ones, not to say whatsoever they were bad, but it's just kind of the appeal that trying to get those bang type ones. But it does have them on here. It's just the fact that it just felt like the attentiveness. I think folks just continue to fuck with like Shaky Dog and like Be Easy, some of those type ones, and the Champ. That's another type. That was another good, nice one, apart from Underwater as well. So Underwater, the Champ, that was a real bang type one. That was just prolific kind of outing mixtape type fair pitch like that. With some of those type varieties. It's being able to say pitch like that, but I recommend all 14 songs out this album within pitch like that, so easy enough, 10 out of 10 with things aspects as far as the fair is going to happen. I do feel like this is like probably within the facet of just more type varieties within the pitch, like those type fairs, even if like the more stark type hits and the more kind of replayability would be within Fishscale, and to a certain extent it's kind of More Fish, which More Fish didn't have as many full bound type singles to those aspects as Full Bound really either, but it did have a little bit, but it's just kind of fair. I just think the aspect kind of behind it by this particular stage, things were getting towards more ringtone type rap and more of like the Drake and Kanye type sound that was getting ready to happen in like the late 2000s. So it was kind of pitched as far as saying things were kind of shifting. 50 Cent was falling out of the spotlight within certain type of senses. G-Unit was falling apart, and I'd say like that. Like G-Unit is still the shit, but it's the fair as far as saying the some of those type products amongst the fray. Jay-Z was kind of American Gangster had a little bit type banging type ness, but he didn't bounce back as full bound until like the Blueprint 3. But it's just kind of pitched as far as in some stuff there. So it's just kind of pitched that the tides were kind of shifting around that particular time. Was just kind of pitch amongst it. Just being able to say, so yeah, We Celebrate as a single off this album, maybe within complex knowledge that's just not as known within pitches like that. So it's fair as far as saying it's a good, nice one. This has Kid Capri on here. Kid Capri on there, who I don't know is full bound about, but good pitch like that within that particular hit type fair. So We Celebrate, it's like a breezy and light lit kind of house party, rec room, kind of Domino's type shit, Domino's pizza type shit, fairs like that. Get like some blackjack going since the pitches, have like a movie like Golden Eye on since the pitch amongst the good nights fair. So it's kind of the pitch. Basic lounge type noise. It's kind of the aspect as far as some of those type ones. It's kind of nonsense type song within pitch like that. It's kind of in between. This has like some degree of venue type fair, but it just feels a little bit more personal pitch like that, more residential type bound pitches like that. Might just have a PlayStation going, some stuff pitches, some stuff aspects and tone as far as like the aspect kind of flair kind of happens. V for Vendetta, Golden Eye, some stuff pitches like that. Good, nice movies like Minority Report and World War Z as far as the Space Games excellent type pitches, some stuff as Dawn of the Dead, good pitches like that. So it's the hit type appeal as far as getting towards that, this particular, this cheesy ass pizza, some stuff fries. So it's kind of aspect. This is a particular type one, it just has a little bit more. It's good, nice, fair to kind of get like Ghostface Killah in a more free base type sense, usually within the pitch, that it usually is a little bit more apt type hustle pitch like that amidst like the fray of either the grind shift, the makeshift, or like the particular erranding type errand pitches like that, just within the phrase. It's kind of complex to usually be. It's a complex and more motion pitches like this. The hit type appeal, but excellent aspects for us this pitch kind of banging typeness. So the rest of these on here pitch like that, I do recommend all of these. Some of these type varieties. So one of which is pretty aspected with. One of these pretty aspects within these tones is the Gym Class Heroes remix, which is Close Off Stress remix as far as these supposed to have. This is actually a Gym Class Heroes song, has Tyga and Ghostface Killah on their pitch like that. It's like a grand miss, like the City Square kind of free bass kind of get. Just a good radio bang, definitely. It's like an emo type tune, so it has traces of like some Fall Out Boy even on here pitch like that. So just good, nice melody type variety, getting like this the big city type glam that you would get from songs like Shaky Dog by Ghostface Killah, and then just applying it like a more City Square kind of disc. Whether it be like an acoustic guitar with some folk making some money and pitch like this, some of that particular free bass and this area bound kind of dap and pitch like that. It's good to have like Quiznos in your system, good pitch like that, since they're probably just amongst like neighborhood stress. There's kind of some barbs to shoot at like particular Danes pitch like that. It's kind of being feeling sharp pitches like that. The new Shaky Dog's a hitting type one as well. Shaky Dog starring Lolita's. It's a fiery type one. It's like a banging kind of Illmatic drooping type syrup to get here pitch like that. Just some red eyes, I definitely say. Delectable kind of Quiznos, good pitch like that. Some stuff fair. So it's kind of the products, some of these type varieties. It's the miss like the city type fair. It's kind of overcast, kind of gray skies type day, or just pitches, sunny stuff Fridays, so just kind of dredgy pitches like that where you would have some good smoke in your system, sunny stuff Ferris, just kind of miss the fair, just products that just out in the fray, kind of a latte pickup or some of these type, the puppy chow type pickup, sunny stuff pitches amongst it, just within brighter, just like kind of just breezing along sunny stuff pitches within the fair, just kind of plain, pleasant type commerce pitch like that, some of these type varieties, but good visiting type song within pitches of just leftover errands and just kind of transit type fairs pitches like that, excellent type varieties pitch. Excellent type pairs within an Illmatic type vibe. So just kind of Illmatic type pairs amidst like the outing type Illmatic type pairs amidst like the prints of it pitch like that, but just kind of the product of leftover type product of wrapping up like this the motions pitch just like that. So good nice varieties. Kill lipsticks, the hitting type ones, like a quality pull aside for like a spell a while as far as these pitch can have them to see like a cute movie, something like particular white chicks or one of those type ones could pitch like that. So instead of varieties just kind of there's something about Mary Silence that pitches amongst it. Just get like Diva's hair done since the action type aspects. It's kind of Aaron type jaunt. That's not necessarily shit that you have to do, but just kind of pitch it. Just tag along fairs like that. Just kind of good, nice fairs to toke a little bit. Some fairs like that. So this kind of product now, if the requirement you having to drive since the pitch is kind of the product of throwing in the toke type fair, but just not driving like the whole way since the pitch is kind of products for us saying, but just the variety as far as just getting towards like a good nice fair to just burn a few like within the whip type fashion pitch like that, just enjoy the product now. Within the product of paying for like the salon type fair and pitch like that, but just the aspects as far as getting some sweet spurt and pitch like that. So hit type feels pitch like that, but it's kind of day type spree pitches like that. Rec room therapy is a banging type one as well as like a quality throw around, just some forearm grips to kind of get. So just some of those exercises that you would use with like weightlifting fairs like that, just those particular ones where you'd grab, you'd have like those devices to get your forearm strength and good pitch like that. So those fairs just get in shape. Some mixtape dives on top of that, just some white noise kind of TV, just standard products that just extracurricular type fair, just extra BSing within the products that just free base type fair, just with a pitch of kind of being productive, but kind of just the product of jargon and pitch like that, just cooks and teas for a gal on top of that pitch like that. So it's hit type prices, kind of aspects as far as saying keeping the motion of it kind of within the product, but just extra type fairs, figure out some new type music sense to pitch amongst some of the type aspects, keeping good steadfast type fair, of the being in shape type product pitches like that. Super GFK is a nice one as well with these pitches, like a syrup to nice kind of day lounge kind of get, just have like some hot cakes, probably just like feels like a hotel type morning since the aspects from the product of it, hot cakes, orange juice since the fairs drops, kind of figure out the next type products amongst some of that type hit type PL. Definitely being gab centric pitch like that, have like a gal mocha with this like this standard spell pitch like that, so this kind of variety. It's definitely feeling chat pitches like this. It's kind of aspects as far as just the product. Just more motion set of moments more so than like the product of just a more motion set of products. Just a good ass type morning within pitches like that where it would be the fair of just going past like a standard just 5 or 8 minute conversation some stuff pitch, but it's not within product of being thorny and pitch like that, but it's the variety some of that type of product just like yep. Got an extra $8 or $12 to waste on like a mocha sense of pitches with good excellent varieties pitches like that. Yap City's the nice ones, like a glared and sniggering kind of treks about and Taco Bell type runs, sense to pitches, just 36 Mafia type varieties pitch like that, just an NY type sense, just some classic city grease to get here, pick up like some nachos. It's probably within pitch that good, definitely within pitch of a hit song like Yap City, a whole assortment of things, pretty funny pitch like that within these type of deals, so getting definitely some sniggering going pitch like that, just figure out the phrase, just thinking about some recent type mains to really have you going pitch like that, but yeah, just nachos in your system, just some of that particular type pair within a relative type paranoia, but just probably more just the ganja doing it pitch like that, but just pay attention like the legality factor pitch like that on top of that. Yolanda's House, the banging type ones, like a throwback to 90s kind of NY soul to get here. Just definitely feels like some of that type of sunlight, pretty much like the 2007 type variation of like Empire State of Mind by Jay-Z from like the early 2010s, late 2000s, pitch like that. Some of that hit type PL reminds of Nas and Jay-Z. Definitely I'd say the city makeshift kind of rush hour type blah pitches like that. So some of those type ones feels like Illmatic in like the mid 2000s. Some of these type pitches are more it's kind of a classic type pitch of like a vintage kind of NY and just city type. It feels like the product of a classic kind of NY type afternoon pitch like this. So it's hit Smooth Gulp, but just NY type smog and pitches like that's the hit type varieties. I definitely say Tony Siegel, aka the Barrel Brothers, hitting type ones like amidst some rattled kind of city comedy to get towards here pitch like that. Just Fritos, snowball pickups for a diva pitch like that. Get some Fritos in your system since the pairs is kind of pleasant type Arendine, just some dizzy type fun. So kind of pitch, just that swirling type nest, the aspect of really enjoying like the fair, just getting crunkness factors like that, but just kind of out within the motion of it pitch like that. So some of these hit type ones, some of these are differential type ones. Now it's been a little bit since I listened to like the full bound kind of Fishscale type album, but there are more songs than they pitch as far as like the variety, as far as getting towards like the product, like the tear up type fashion on here. So it has some good type products as far as there was a little bit more kind of gout, like when you think of songs like The Champ and like Be Easy, songs that once in the pitches, that had a little bit more like the glam type factor of just like some showy kind of nest pitch like that, but it's just kind of the variety. It's not as flamboyant and showy kind of within these aspects, but it's not to say it's not. There is like a song on here that does remind of the original Shaky Dog, which I'm going to get to that one, but it's the pitch as far as saying something stuff fair is you get the product of. It is dope type pitches getting towards some stuff products, but it's just kind of the aspect. I do question like what the fair, like the reception amongst this album when folks think when it compares to like Fishscale as far as these pairs get out, but it's within pitch as far as saying it's the product of. You're going to get blitzed out definitely within these pitches. So the jostle factor is real high, good excellent pitches. White Linen Affair, Tony Awards, the banging type ones, like amidst some city stars and step out to get towards here pitch like that. Just a new era kind of Shaky Dog, I'd say. Definitely DJ Drama type fairs pitch like that. So this is a throwback type one. So definitely within the pitch like that, glam type factor. And I don't think it's like a retread within these pitches as far as saying that it just is trying to be like a cash in pitch like that. It has the same sort of glam type factor, and just getting like a re-enhancement of that particular song is just further type hit type variety. So it's good nice pitches, fucking with that particular tune, just getting some new spins and like that particular type variety. So it's excellent products. Just takes it back to 2006 DJ Drama type fair sense type aspects amongst it. Definitely like a banging, just follow up the Shaky Dog pitch like that. Another nice one within those aspects kind of amongst it is Walk Around as far as these especially happens, like an excellent kind of vintage blueprint in 2000s kind of DJ Drama mixtape kind of grind shift, I'd say here, just basic kind of grease to some of these type fairs. This just feels like vintage type appeal within those aspects as far as paying attention like that hit type factor, dedication type products, Trapper Dyson type hit type appeals. This within aspects as far as saying just further type ones within these aspects, this traditional type fury and pitches like that. It's kind of the aspect of getting towards like the day push. So some of these type ones, this is more hustlers makeshift, more so than the full bound type aspect of blue collar, but probably nowadays in these aspects this has like the real this traditional type bite of just enjoying like the city muscle and pitch like that. So hit type appeals. I'll Die For You is the hitting type one with these aspects as well as like an excellent kind of blueprint style kind of heroin dredge to get with these products. Probably these pitch can happen as well. Just some weekday kind of realign, I'd say, just work, kind of get that product of it done, pitch like that, just get some Fritos kind of within your system. So these stuff fairs kind of keep the product. So this one kind of like particular walk around was the pitch as far as saying within these aspects, just on top of some of these stuff fairs, it just is. Has a little bit more mishap and ruffle amongst it as far as these fairs would particularly kind of happen. This particular kind of gripe and BS, but this kind of product to getting towards some of those type ones. It's kind of pitch, it is like expansion type packs, like the blueprint within those aspects, at least in terms of an album type format. When you think of some of those type pitches, Jay-Z did have songs on that album like Song Cry and some of those type ones, pitched like that within some type products amongst it that had some of that hit type appeal, but it's just further type motions within some type aspects. It is more consistent type flavors that have more than just a few token type songs like the pitch of having to deal with like the crapola and some stuff aspects amongst us. So good fairs like that, just kind of get some realign going, figure out the straightening, get some pick me ups within those fairs. Netflix gift card for a diva, some stuff pitches nowadays, pitch like that, but iTunes gift card probably back then, pitch like that, just get some burritos, good pitches like that. Paisley Darts to hit type 1, and there are some ones on here like within these type pitches like Yolanda's House has Method Man and Raekwon on there, Tony Siegel aka Barrel Brothers has Beanie Siegel on there, Tribe the Gods on Yap City, one of these Tribe the Gods on Yap City, the particular Tribe the God and Sun God are on Yap City, the particular meme type song with like the laughs and Galvant pitch like that. Rec Room Therapy has Raekwon and You God, Capadonna, Method Man, and Tribe the God are on Paisley Darts. These particular pitches of what I'm getting ready to talk about here. Sun God's on here as well, and Raekwon, if I didn't say that. Shaky Dog Star and Lolita has Raekwon, so it's good pitch like that. Method Man and Master Killer on Kill Lipstick, the Lady song, so it's pitch like that. Just being able to say Paisley darts like a grand uptown kind of motions and Aaron kind of fair pitches like that, same stuff fries, just a pot run I'd say, get some Domino's pizza about within whip type fashions, pitch like this, just kind of out in the fray kind of pizza type products, pitch like that, not as much station at like the house, hot box like vintage kind of Wu-Tang type fairs, pitch like that. So it's the variety as far as saying to some of these type ones, good to get some of these type fries still having like these aspects of just having like a good old fashioned kind of steam, several Swisher stuff pitch like that, or like particular Phillies and stuff aspects within those tones. But it's kind of the product of some particular uptown state of Waz that you got to get taken care of, pitches like that. But it's kind of variety of bringing some pals along, some of these type prices that is kind of making like the usual advent of like the possible BS type fare kind of more fun with these pitches. Get some errands done, then smoke a good few several sweet, get some errands and utility and bills paid, pitch like that. Then after the product of it, smoke a good several bowls and sweets with your pals, pitch like this, and it's hit type deals. And within the product, obviously paying attention to like the driving type factor, but just pitches, so just having like that candid typeness, of just business and pleasure, pitch like this, the hit type appeals. The aspects slow down is a bang type one that says Chrisette Michelle on here as far as these pitch can have them on the hook. Good fairs like that. It's like a flittery kind of jostle and makeshift mess to get towards here. So just grab like a Sunday for like a diva pitch like that. Just current thorns are kind of being a gripe factors like that. Just realign type products. Some of these type assets. Grab like some nail polish pitch like that on top of that. Just kind of a GG type song. So it's kind of pitch. This definitely reminds like Jennifer Hudson type vibes. Some of these type pitches, brandy and certain type aspects. These particular type products amongst it. It's kind of the fair. Good, nice late 2000s kind of Mary J. Blige type vibes from the pitch. It just kind of said a while that just kind of has to do with more personable type gripe and not personal in terms of like business or just fares of like particular like bills need to be paid with the product of this. Diva has like a luncheon or a movie she wants you to go to, or you have to be sober for these sorts of phrase pitch like that. But just some of these type of feels, just the straightening of a pitch like that. But it's kind of standard, just particular kind of Biggie and like good Biggie style kind of R&B type, personal type squabble pitch like that. Just good Pop Daddy type style also pitch like that. Just some real line pitches like this. Just hit type peels. Then these particular type pitches, I think that more or less takes care of the rest of this down within these aspects where the fair is going to happen. Just being able to say 10 out of 10 album pitch like that. Social score would go ahead and get, and I would say within these pitches, within the hit type feel, I feel like the quality of this album kind of dictates it getting a 10 out of 10 was the product as far as saying the promotional type fare. This didn't really have any charting type songs, and it felt like it was kind of more swept underneath the rug concerning the hit type feel. It just felt not necessarily that Ghostface Killah was kind of like a particular kind of flash in the pan with like, or at least it just felt like the particular fare most people. It just felt like most folks were still satisfied over the quality of Fishscale within those pitches, despite the fact that he followed those particular albums. Despite the fact that he followed that particular album up a couple of times with these pitches that just didn't seem to have like the relative type spark that it needed within those pitches. More Fish was definitely good. Same thing with this one. Was just didn't necessarily need within those pitches. More Fish was definitely good. Same thing with this album. Was this kind of pitch, just paying attention to like those classic staples. This kind of ordeal. The Champ, Be Like That, Backlight. The Champ, Be Easy, Shaky Dog, Underwater, Back Like That, since the pitch is kind of classic type feel. But this particular one, I'd say within these aspects, as far as like some standouts on here, I would say that Kill Lipstick's a real nice one for like this glam type factor, like a relative replacement to like Back Like That with Neo, some type pitches. I'd probably say, like within the relative type aspects, that White Linen affair and the Tony Awards kind of has some aspects like being a relative new era kind of Shaky Dog. At least it has the attempt behind it. We Celebrate's like a real good buzz type single. It has some electro type fare for this, like the pitch of like particular Blackjack and Golden Eye type movies. Pitch Blackjack cards, some Rec Room typeness, and a Golden Eye type movie pitch like that. Since the fares within it, just good, nice free bass and. There's a hotbox song in particular, like Paisley Darts, and then you have like the aspect of like some good, nice DJ drama type fairs like Walk Around. So it does have the buzz type songs in here. It just is more melded, so it's kind of pitched. It's not as kind of in your face with like it. Just I feel like the starkness and the rope factor about this particular album is just not as bang within these pitch. It just doesn't have like the buzz singles and the overall kind of like distinction as full band. So I'd say it doesn't. It's just kind of pitched that. It's just not like the word of mouth kind of crowd favorites on here pitch like that. It's not as if it doesn't have them. It's just kind of pitched. This was kind of I think folks were still consider. I think folks just still appreciate like Fishscale was pitched like that, but it's not a bad album. Any of these type pitches, it's quieter. So 10, I would say I'm gonna say 9. I'm gonna say 10 social with these pitches because the quality is definitely on here. It's just kind of pitch as far as saying it's just the as far as saying it in terms of like a casual, maybe more of like a 9.5, just because the more melded typeness and lack of real ferocity buzz pitch like that. But it's just fair as far as saying it's actually a 10. I would say within my opinion. and the should be type qualities pitch like this. This is fair as far as but in terms of the future, like Ghostface Killah dropped an album in 2025 pitch like that. I think it was actually like Supreme Clientele 2 or something like that, one of those type pitch. He put out a sequel to one of his albums, or like a series of those type ones, like folks like De La Soul and Nas and DJ Premier, some folks that did like a string of albums in like 2025 pitch like that. So some excellent top videos getting towards those products, but this is a classic here, pretty good classic here, banging type pitches, return to form for Ghostface. Good classic here, pitches like that, return to form for Ghostface Killah is up there with particular Fishscale. I'd say within these products is some good nice staples.